Good day and welcome back to Black Speaks. As you know, we are posting videos on our channel so that we share our stories, we share our experiences, and we encourage each other on the journey of living with chronic conditions. Last week we spoke about obesity and the effect of obesity on chronic illnesses. And this week we're going to continue with the journey. This is your host, Zonwabele Chayana, and welcome back. To those of you who have been following the channel, thank you so much for continuing and for being part of our audience. And to you who are new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe and you hit that notification button so as to not to miss anything that we are posting. I mentioned in the last video that I started treatment in 2007, January 20th, which was 3 years after doctors had advised me or had begged me to start treatment. So, as I said, this video, we are going to explore the effects of treatment. What did I go through after I started treatment? So our video today is going to be different, is going to be done differently, in that I'm going to have someone asking me questions. So it's more of an interview style than the videos that I've done before.
Hello everybody, this is your ghost interviewer who will be interviewing your host, Mr. Zonwabele Chayana. Okay, Mr. Chayana, you mentioned that you started treatment about 3 years later than what the doctors advised, or when the doctors advised you to start treatment. Why did you do that?
Thank you so much. Some of the reasons why I started treatment late was, number one, I was scared of the treatment that was available at that time. I had seen people that were on treatment whose bodies had changed in terms of their shape. There were quite a number of things that influenced my decision around that. Secondly, access to treatment was not for everybody. I felt that people that needed treatment the most were not getting it or could not access it due to its unavailability in our public hospital system. And I was working for an NGO that was fighting for the rights of people living with HIV. So basically, it was part of advocacy for people to get treatment. Remember, I think I mentioned this in the previous video or in previous videos, that my family was willing to support me. But what about people who had no families or had no financial means to get treatment? So that's one of the reasons. And I also think I was mentally not ready to start treatment at that time.
Okay. How did you make sure, as you are saying that the doctors advised you to start treatment, which means they saw something that they saw a need for you to start treatment. So how did you make sure that you stay healthy even though you were not taking the treatment that you were advised to take?
Okay. I did not do anything to keep myself healthy. And that's a mistake I made. Instead of keeping myself healthy by eating healthily, exercising, and I did none of that. I did totally the opposite. I was not eating healthy. I was drinking alcohol. I was doing recreational drugs. Basically, I didn't do anything to support my decision not to take treatment at that time. And in hindsight, I realize the stupidity of that decision that I made.
So how did that affect your health?
My health deteriorated. my viral load was high. And there was a period where I felt that I had depression, or when I look back and I see the symptoms, I realized that I had depression during that time. So my health was not good.
Okay. So when you decided to start the treatment, what led to that decision, or what made you to get to that decision to say that, okay, now I'm ready to start the treatment?
Okay, thanks. As I said, the doctors that are treating me, we used to engage, and one of them, Dr. Ndaba, when I visited him sometime early January, he gave me a pack of pills and asked me to read the package inserts and to research on the treatment. I did some research. He also assisted me with articles, that were on the medical journal around the efficacy of treatment and the treatment that we were having at that time. So I read those, and after reading and convincing myself that I needed treatment because my viral load was high, which meant that I would be at risk of developing other HIV-related illnesses, I felt that there was a need now for me to start treatment. And also my family was supportive of the treatment journey that I needed to start. The doctors were able to convince my family to see their reasoning behind pushing me to start treatment. So I had my doctors pushing me, but also my family. But also I felt that I needed to take treatment.
Okay. So after you've started the treatment, did you see any noticeable improvement or setbacks in your life, in your health, at large?
Yes, there were some developments that happened. There's what we call IRIS in short, which is the immune reconstruction inflammatory syndrome, which means now your body is beginning to recognize illnesses that are inside. And because your immune system is being strengthened by the pills, it starts fighting these diseases or illnesses. I also had TB when I started treatment, or I was diagnosed with TB later after starting treatment. And I also had some challenges, breathing challenges. So yeah, there were some setbacks in terms of my health, but those setbacks were expected due to what I've explained, that my immune system was now reconstructing and being strengthened. So it was able to fight infections that were there.
Any improvements on the viral load?
Yes, yes. On the viral load, yes. The viral load dropped. My CD4 became higher. Generally, I became healthier in terms of as soon as I was put on TB treatment and the other challenges that I was having were treated, I sort of recovered. Let me mention this. One of the other challenges which I attribute to the treatment or the Adherence, the pill that I was taking now as part of the ARVs, was depression, because I tried to commit suicide about 6 or 7 months after I started my treatment, which is a direct side effect of Adherence. So that was one of the major challenges that I faced, even though at the time I did not accept the diagnosis for EE depression.
Okay. Actually, my next question was going to be on that. On did you experience any side effects as someone who was scared of taking the treatment because you heard or you've seen how it was doing to other people? So did you experience any side effects when on your own, and what were those side effects? You've already mentioned the partly depression part.
Yeah.
So were there any other side effects that you've experienced?
Not much. Perhaps one of them that I can mention was the issue of, I don't want to say hallucinations because it's one of the side effects that were there. I did have an episode, one episode, which I refer to as the gorilla story, because I saw a gorilla when I was waking up in the morning, and the gorilla was purple in color, and it was sitting at the bottom of the bed where I was sleeping. So yeah, but I didn't have many of those side effects or the challenges that people have when they start treatment.
Okay. So how did you manage to continue your daily life and be consistent with your treatment? Understanding that you didn't want to change your lifestyle, sort of. You didn't want to be on the healthy side of life, if we can call it like that. But how did you manage your daily life now that you were taking treatment?
I was not as consistent as I should have been. But in the early years, I'll say my adherence to treatment was remarkable. There was this, push inside me that I should take treatment, and I should be consistent. I should be adherent to treatment. So the early years, the first 3 to 4 years, I was consistent. I was adherent. Yes, I did have minor, dosage skips here or there, where I would skip one dosage or two, but also from a health perspective, I still didn't change. My lifestyle didn't change. I still was not eating healthy. I still was still taking alcohol. I was still smoking. I did a lot of the wrong things, even though I was on treatment. So I can't say I did anything specific to manage my health.
So continuing with those unhealthy habits, did they not affect how the treatment was responding or how your body was responding to the treatment?
Looking back, yes, they did. The shortness of breath, remember I said I was smoking, so here is treatment trying to help me clear my body of any infections, the TB and everything, pneumonia, you name it. And here I am smoking. And sometimes I would take my treatment, and I took my treatment at night. I would take my treatment and continue drinking. Take my treatment and continue eating fatty foods. And that meant the treatment was not as effective as it was supposed to be. I should have stopped eating fatty meat, especially if I was taking Adherence, because fats would prohibit or limit the efficiency or the efficacy of the treatment. So they did have an effect.
Okay. So how did you manage those, and how did you manage the after effects? I'm not sure if I should call it after effects, or the other, let me just say the other illnesses that came after you've taken treatment. Understanding that some of these illnesses may not have been caused by you taking the treatment, but by you taking treatment and continue with your unhealthy lifestyle.
It was challenging. It was challenging, I won't lie. Some of the things that, for instance, happened was I got diagnosed with hypertension. Partly, hypertension was caused by treatment and by my weight being big. But in hindsight, also by the smoking. I was further. Also during the time, I had these persistent headaches, which would either be diagnosed as migraines or tension headaches, and my BP was uncontrolled. I was diagnosed with sleep apnea again. So looking back, I did not manage those. I did not manage the effects of what I was doing. In fact, I would say I did not care about the effects. Not that I did not care, but I did not do anything on my side to take care of my health, good care of my health.
To assist the
treatment. Yes, my actions then meant that the treatment or the side effects would be more pronounced, if I can put it that way, or would be sped up because there's treatment this side and the body has to fight the toxins that I'm feeding it with.
Okay. So okay, you are talking about the challenges that you faced after you've started taking the treatment, even though some of the challenges were your own doing, but it's still challenges that we would count them as the challenges that you faced after taking the treatment. And those challenges also, some of them, they led to you having to take other pills. How did that affect you mentally, physically, and like psychologically?
It had a lot of effects. I had to take more pills. Mm-hmm. I forgot to mention that I was also diagnosed with hypothyroidism, meaning I had to also take treatment for an underactive thyroid gland. Mm. So in essence, I was taking, and remember at that time, we didn't have the fixed dose combination. So it was 3 ARVs, 3 pills, AZT, 3TC, and Adherence. In addition to that, treatment for BP. I think I was taking 4 pills. In addition to that, 2 pills for hypothyroidism. That affected me. Emotionally, I felt burdened. Having to take all these pills every single day. And some of them, I would have to split them, take some in the morning, take some in the evening. I think the 3TC and AZT, I was taking 2. So I would take 2 each. So I would take one in the morning, plus the BP treatment, plus the thyroid treatment. At night, I would take other pills again, including simvastatin, which was for cholesterol. So that I felt burdened by all of this. But also remember, I spoke of Adherence and depression. That also was not gone. I was still, having these episodes of being suicidal at times, and feeling depressed, and the anxieties, and the heart scares, and a quite number of other things that would happen, and which I can link back to the treatment.
Okay. Oh, that's I don't know how you managed that. Okay. Did you ever face treatment fatigue? Did you ever face something where where you will feel that you no longer want to take treatment, or you are just tired of taking treatment every day and you will default sometimes or something like that? Do you ever face that?
Yes, a number of times. At times I would just stop, I would skip doses, just for a day. But over the years, as time went by, I would stop for a week, and then sometimes, I would stop for a month, and at times I would stop for 3 months. I felt that the number of pills that I was taking was too much. From a time where I would be taking about 11 pills a day, and to recent times where I'm now taking 8 pills for different chronic conditions. That sometimes make you feel like you're just pumping treatment into your body. And at times you feel like you should just give up. You should just stop all of it. And remember, people are talking. There are talks on, people talking about people taking treatment, people that are taking treatment and pumping toxins into their bodies. So there are groupings. There's a group that speaks to taking treatment. There's a group that speaks to not taking treatment, and it gets overwhelming. You get overwhelmed, and when you are someone who reads about the treatment that they are taking, and you see some of the side effects that the treatment is causing, at times you ask yourself a lot of questions. Why am I still taking the treatment? Why should I continue? Why am I taking so many pills? Why can't these pills just be combined into one pill or into 2 pills? If I'm taking treatment for BP and you know that I need a diuretic for congestive cardiac failure, and I need treatment for BP, why can't you combine that into one pill? So it gets to a point where you ask yourself, for how long am I going to keep taking these pills? So you need to dig deeper in you for you to continue taking treatment, for you to adhere to your treatment. And at times, I won't lie, there are, for instance, when I was diagnosed with depression again the second time, I refused to take depression treatment. I refused to add any more pills, to the treatment that I was taking, which also affects when I'm ill with other ailments. I seldom finish my course of treatment because of the number of pills that I have to take. Now I'm taking my treatment in the morning, the 8 pills in the morning. Now imagine I have to take antibiotics, I have to take anti-inflammatories, I have to take for whatever ailment that I have at that time. Meaning, in addition to the 8 pills, I have to take 5 more pills for the ailment, and then take another 5 during the day, and take another 5 at night. So you find that when I fall ill or sick with any other ailment, I struggle to take my treatment for that. Because the number of pills that I have to pop are too much. It's not mentally, it affects you. It affects you. It's a reminder, basically.
Okay. So I've heard that taking treatment for long can affect your liver, or it can have an effect on your liver. Do you know about that? If so, how do you make sure that your liver continues to be healthy and it continues to do what it's supposed to be doing in your body?
Okay. Yes, I do know about the effects of the treatment on one's liver. Unfortunately, there is nothing specific that I'm doing for my liver health, except checking every regularly every 6 months if my liver function is still okay. Taking treatment, some treatment does not only affect the liver, it also affects your kidneys. For instance, Adherence again that I was taking, one of its side effects was renal failure or kidney failure, which is why I agreed in 2019, or yeah, 2020. This is why I agreed in 2020 to switch from your Adherence-based treatment regimen to the one that I'm taking now, which is dolutegravir based, because of the threat to my kidney function. I've also been hospitalized, just after changing with a kidney scare. My kidneys looked like they were failing, which pushed me to now continue taking my treatment, but also to try and change my lifestyle in terms of water intake. We underestimate the value of taking water, regularly, as a person who's taking treatment, because water assists the body to detox and also assists the kidneys to function well. So at times, much as I blame the treatment for the kidney problem, part of it was me, in that I was not drinking enough water. I would drink all the fizzy drinks, I would drink, everything else, but pure water, which led to the challenges that I was having. So part of it was treatment-based, but also I contributed to it.
I like that you also take part, also take the responsibility, because some people will only blame the treatment that they are taking without taking the responsibility of how they also did not adhere to how they are supposed to live while they are taking the treatment.
Yeah.
So tell me, you shared stories of your near-death experiences, if I can put it that way, but still you would go back to not adhering to your treatment. What caused that, and how did you overcome that?
I think I'm stubborn.
Oh.
Number one.
Okay.
I think I'm stubborn. But also there's a level of stupidity in it all. And why I'm saying stupidity, mentally, okay, I know what's going to happen. But there's this part of me that says, I'm going to prove, whether it's the system or other people or myself, wrong. I'll continue, but what influences this? It's a mental state that is not well. When psychologically you are having challenges, thoughts of giving up or losing hope creep in. Even if you are saying they are not there, but they keep on working at the back of your mind. Because emotionally you are not okay. Psychologically you're not okay. So when all these happen, they manifest in your actions. So how I overcame that stubbornness and stupidity was I had to go back to counseling and get intense adherence counseling. I had to go back to counseling to deal with my issues, but also to deal with the fact that I was growing older. I had kids. I have kids who are looking up to me, and I have ambitions that not to just live, but also to leave a legacy. And I've made a promise to my children that I'm going to be around for long. So I had like something in me triggered. And I won't lie, the support from my family made it possible, you know. The look in my family's eyes, and also especially my wife and my mom, and how they would be when I was in hospital, and how my kids would be when I was admitted or when I was sick. It made me realize that I needed to change. I needed to do better. I needed to be responsible with my health. I needed to take care of my health. I needed to pull my end of the stick to ensure that I live longer.
Okay. So in your previous video, you mentioned that you have started a walk with the hippo. Walk with the hippo, and you are now walking more and trying to eat healthy. Have you seen any improvements in your health since you started that walk, or since you started walking, or since you started the journey? Have you seen any improvements in your health side?
Yes, and yes. One, the skin tone. I'm more handsome.
I never.
Yeah, no. On a serious note, yeah, I've seen improvements. I've seen my weight has drastically dropped. I've lost 10 kgs already. It's been 8 months now. My weight has dropped. I feel healthier. I feel energetic. My BP is now normal. It's normalized. It's controlled. My thyroid function is controlled. And before I started walking, I was told that I was pre-diabetic. But the last results that I did, my results came back. My sugar levels were normal, so I'm no longer pre-diabetic. But also, my confidence has returned. I was starting to lose confidence in myself. You know, you look at your peers, you look at your people of the same age as you. When you're walking with people, they look younger than you. They look fitter than you. They look slimmer than you. And here you are with a big tummy. You know, you can find clothes. You can fit clothes that other people can buy. They don't fit you. You know. So I've seen quite some improvement in terms of my health, not only physically but also emotionally. I'm more relaxed, calm, and focused. I'm at peace, if I can say, and that has been brought by the change in my lifestyle. It has been brought by. I didn't know that when you walk. Like I walk in the mornings, early morning. Like we walk 5 kilometers in the mornings when I'm not lazy. I've become lazy a bit. But when you walk, you do the 5 kilometers. Yes, you'll be tired. You take a bath or a shower, and you'll be fresh the whole day. You know, these are things that I didn't know. But now that I'm starting, I started with walk with the hippo. I'm back, you know. I feel healthier. I feel more energetic.
Okay, you've just partly answered. Okay, I think you've just answered my follow-up question, or my question that was gonna be my next question. Let me say it like that, because I was gonna ask, how are you now, emotionally and physically? But I think you've just answered it by saying now you are more calm, you are at peace. And yeah, you feel more confident now.
Yeah.
So, coming to an end, as we are about to end this video, I would like I'd like to check if you have any message or advice for people who are in the same situation. Maybe there's someone who has just started treatment, or there's someone who feels that they are tired of taking their treatment, or there's someone who has been taking treatment and also experiencing other illnesses that may be due to illness, to the treatment they are taking, or they may be due to their irresponsibility. Do you have any message or any advice to those people?
Yes.
As we conclude.
Yes. We need to adhere to our treatment. Don't beat yourself up if it happens that you feel like not taking your treatment on that particular day. I'm not saying don't take your treatment, but when the feeling comes, don't beat yourself up. It happens to us. It happens to a lot of us. But what you need to do is to dig deeper on your reason. Why did you take treatment? What pushed you to take your treatment? What are your future ambitions, and how has treatment assisted you to be where you are today? So just persevere. Find it in you. Find it inside you, that thing that says, I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to take my treatment even though my body doesn't feel like it. And if it's overwhelming, seek help. Go for counseling. In fact, counseling should be part of your lifestyle.
Part of the lifestyle, yes.
So go for counseling. Talk about your challenges. Seek people that understand what you're going through. That helped me a lot. I have what we call psychosocial community psychosocial networks. So in essence, it's people who understand what I'm going through. People who are willing to take my hand and walk with me. I have a family that is supportive. I have my mom, my sisters, my uncles who are supportive. I have a wife who's supportive. I have friends who are supportive. And I've just partially, disclosed to my kids, and even before I partially disclosed to them, they were supportive of my treatment journey. Sometimes they'll just remind me or just bring water for me to drink pills. So embrace the support that you get, and have a goal. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve? By when? So have plans, future plans. That is going to guide you in taking care of your health, because you have not bought yourself an aeroplane, you have not bought yourself a mansion, you have not bought yourself a car. So yeah.
Okay. How has this, as we are closing, this is my final thing. How has this journey shaped your outlook on life, health, or your future? And also, when you are done answering that question, please close for us. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. My outlook in life is different now. I've realized my irresponsibility first. How I've been irresponsible with my health. I've realized also the benefits of taking treatment. I've realized the benefits of adhering to treatment. I've realized that the journey has got its own challenges. And I need to find ways of managing those challenges and coping with those challenges. I'm now more focused. I've actually started even to plan for the future. things that I want to do, the things that I want to achieve and overcome. So, in essence, whatever happened that made me to realize that I need to adhere to treatment also triggered in me the zeal and the will to live and to succeed in life and to become a better person. Thank you to everyone who watched the video today, and thank you to our ghost interviewer.
That's moi.
To the people who are returning, thank you so much for following the channel. To everyone who is new to the channel and who has just watched our video for the first time, please subscribe and please hit that notification button so that you don't miss out on anything that we're doing. This is your host, Zonwabele Chayana, and this is your channel, Blackie Speaks. Signing out. Till next week. Thank you.